Brian, yeah, because this weighs more than that weighs more than air.
No, that's Sam.
They've never been able to reproduce gravity. They cannot reproduce
We have
gravity.
zero gravity machines, Sam.
Brian, they can't reproduce gravity.
We can take gravity out of the equation. We know that. Do you know that?
No, I don't know that.
So that's a zero gravity machine.
Yeah.
Gravity is as much a theory, literally, as saying that you're standing in front of me. Gravity. So the reason, let me give you an example. So we know this about a sphere.
How come a helium balloon goes up, Brian?
Hold on. We know that a sphere.
Yeah.
That the gravity pulls toward the center of that sphere. You know why? That's why when you have this in Australia versus in the United
Can
States,
you look up, is gravity a theory or a law?
Well, it's essentially a theory, but it's as much a theory
then
as
it means
anything.
it can't be. It hasn't been proven.
But we've literally proven it.
Brian, by the way, I might have just gave you a little way to win this time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I just threw something out.
I know that you're not sure about.
But this might be your only chance to win this one.
Gravity is really not an argument. Newton came up with the mathematical theory, and by the way, every experiment we can. So the reason that this doesn't slide. The reason that this goes straight down, whether it's in Australia or whether it's here, is because the globe, which is round, it is pulled
in
to
your
the
realm.
center.
It's round.
It is pulled
in
to the
your
center.
realm. It's round.
But we have ways to measurably prove this, Sam. Let me give you another example with the round.
They can't reproduce gravity.
Yes, they can.
No, they
Sam.
can't,
Sam,
Brian. They've tried it.
Go to a zero gravity machine. Just go. We know
on YouTube.
Yes, and this is what they have. You people, including actors, have been in zero gravity machines. See this? This is a zero gravity machine. It's real.
Is this at NASA?
So I made my
Actors have been in.
Have you been in a zero gravity
a lot
machine?
of actors have, Sam.
Have you been in a zero? It looks like
No, but
she's in
there
a
are people
fucking
that
pool.
have. Watch. This is not made up, Sam. We know that you can create zero gravity chambers. We know this. Watch. It's incredible. We know this. You're arguing that this is the wrong thing to argue about. Gravity.
Hold on. Dude, I am literally 16 episodes into this thing, and you might slowly have a tiny argument.
Yes! Winning!
No. No.
Now hold on.
No.
We know I'm winning on this one.
No, you're not.
Have you actually never seen
won
this?
on gravity,
This is why.
baby.
Watch this.
And I have to be honest with you. I don't know why I threw that out, because that's not my expertise.
Okay, but
I still don't. They can't reproduce gravity.
Please watch this. So this is a classic example. Now what they're going to do, Sam, is they are going to reproduce gravity in this gravity chamber. They're going to reproduce gravity in this gravity chamber because right now they're in zero gravity, and then they're going to reproduce it. Okay?
All right, I'm working
And there are
hard.
ways to do this with physics.
Can you prove
and machines?
gravity?
All right, Bubba, they are. Watch, I'll show you. Watch on YouTube.
I'm not.
You know
I'm not
YouTube
watching,
where you get your
now
information.
We're watching YouTube.
Yeah, where you get your info.
So now YouTube.
Bubba, look,
working.
they're floating, Sam. They are floating. This is not trick photography. This is not. This is a zero gravity chamber, and one of the reasons.
Okay, read this. Okay, Forbes magazine. Why is the definitive proof there is gravity? There isn't one.
It's a theory.
This is not how science works. Gravity is a name we give to a phenomenon that objects accelerate towards. They call Dr. Fauci the Hitler of AIDS.
Well, Dr. Fauci was very off on AIDS. He was very wrong on AIDS.
Was he wrong or was he right for profits?
Well, a lot of people.
A lot of people think that most of those people died not from the AIDS virus, but from the cocktails they were given.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Welcome in all American Cartel members, Anons, Facebook friends, Twitter followers, random YouTube viewer, Parlor viewer, follower, and anybody else I might have forgotten to mention. Thanks for joining me. This is the Theorizing Theorist, also known as Julio JACQUEZ, also known as an overall stud in the YouTube game, the conspiracy theory game, I should say. So the conspiracy theory today that I think a lot of people don't really realize is that gravity isn't real. We don't know what the fuck gravity is, okay? So a lot of people that like to go, science, bro, science, we know the world is round. That's how we are stuck to the globe, because it spins, and like when you swing a bucket with water and the water stays in the middle, kinda. Like, how do I word this perfectly? Some of y'all globe earthers treat some of us flat earthers or some of the flat earthers like they're complete morons, like they didn't go to fucking school with you guys. School's mandatory. All right, we all got to go to school. We all learn the exact same shit you learned. If anything, a flat earther might be more intelligent than the average human being, the average globe earther, because the flat earther knows everything that the globe earthers know and what the flat earthers know. As a globe earther, if you're a globe earther, ask yourself this. Do you know everything that the flat earthers know? Do you know their arguments? A lot of you just dismiss them, don't even care to fucking play with the arguments or the theories. Well, not here on the Theorizing Theorist, let me tell you. And, well, I guess this isn't the Theorizing Theorist. This is the All-American Cartel channel, but, you know, I'm a theorist at heart. We all are, I do believe. So please enjoy the rest of this episode. I'm here to prove that things that we think we know, like what's sticking our feet to the ground, something so simple like gravity, we don't even know. Now, if we don't even know gravity, what else don't we know? A lot of these things we say we know and we think we know, well, any little fact can come in and turn that theory upside down on its head. And that's all I want you guys to respect. So, to God be the glory, y'all. Enjoy the rest of this video. And as always, you know the routine. To God be the glory.
I really want to go to space, so I made my own astronaut training program because nobody else would have me. I'm like a pet up for adoption, and I just decided to adopt myself. I've already made sure that I won't throw up and I won't go crazy in confined spaces, but there's still this thing weighing me down. The biggest downer on planet Earth. Freaking gravity! So we've rented a sensory deprivation tank. Basically, it's this pod filled with 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts. You can float in it and experience what it's like to be weightless. You ready for this? My jumpsuit game is like an onion. This is like layers upon layers. I feel that this is the closest I've ever been to climbing back into my mom's uterus. This is so weird. I don't dare to put my head down. Ooh, I don't know what that do. It kind of makes my feet hurt. Do you mind? Sorry. Donald Trump is president, and I'm opting out. Hashtag space boom. I mean, hashtag send some outer space. I need something more. So we went to San Jose because I got a ticket to the Vomit Comet. I had to get up at 6 a.m., so I was fucking excited. A zero-G flight is an airplane that does parabolas, so it goes up really fast and then down really fast, so you get to experience what it's like to be weightless. I was really freaking nervous about it because a lot of people do throw up, and if you throw up, you have to get back in your seat for the rest of the flight. So basically, it'd be the most expensive vomit of your life, unless you threw up into somebody's Gucci bag. For each parabola, you get about 30 seconds of weightlessness, and we did 15 of them, so I got about 7.5 minutes of glorious weightlessness. So without further ado, here's some footage of me having the freaking time of my life. So I was supposed to narrate this as it went, but I could get no intelligent commentary out of myself. I have no idea what to say. Yeah, that's about it. As the airplane is going up, you're laying down on your back, and first you're getting heavier and heavier and heavier, but then you're getting lighter and lighter and lighter until you just float up. It was really like flying, and your body doesn't really know what to do. Your instinct is to just pedal, which is terribly ineffective. Oh my god! They threw out some water and we got to catch some candy. I feel like fucking Pac-Man. So yeah, here we are. Also, I cut my hair because I felt that I wanted to look even more like one of the Hanson brothers. Bop, motherfuckers. So going on the zero-G flight was huge. Like, I've been wanting to do it for such a long time, and it was the wildest thing I've ever done. Like, it was like nothing I've ever experienced before. And also, this is the last episode of DIY Astronaut. Thank you so much to Google's Making and Science team for giving me a budget for this project. But now I've run out of money, so we're back to filming on my iPhone. How's this level of production value for you? Get used to it! Get used to it! Also, huge thanks to Adam Isaac, who helped film and edit DIY Astronaut, and Scott Laurie, who produced it and did production coordination. They were the best paid friends a woman could have. By the way, I set up a store and now you can buy the astronaut t-shirt. So if you feel that you want to look both offensive and stupid at the same time, just click on the link in the description and get one of these beauties. It's a solid t-shirt. And I don't know about you, but I feel fully ready to go to space. So Richard Branson, I'm just waiting for you to call me. Call me. It might go faster if we all tweet him. Shameless plug! I have no shame in my space game! Send Simone to space! Not Simone Biles. I mean, she seems nice and all, but Simone Yach, Gertz, whatever. Simone Dry Heave. Simone Queef on a yoga ball. Simone can't pronounce yacht. That girl! Me! I mean, otherwise I'll just have to build myself a rocket, and I don't think any of us wants me to do that. It'd make for an interesting tombstone though, so that's something. Anyway, check out the DIY Astronaut t-shirt, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching DIY Astronaut. I had so much fun! Oh gosh, you're gonna hate me.
So now Bryan Callen, one of my favorites, Joe Rogan, one of my favorites, Eddie Bravo, Sam Tripoli, Brendan Schaub, all the crew, some of my favorite people in the world to watch at least. I don't know them personally, so I couldn't really elaborate. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is Bryan Callen, and along with a lot of these other people, are under the assumption that we got this magical magnetic or, I don't know, some magical machine that turns off gravity. It's not a machine. It's an airplane that drops altitude at the same rate as gravity pulls or whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. And thus creating an X'd out gravity, so to speak. But that's not really what it is. It's kind of like measuring the weight of an apple with an orange. And you get the scales to say they're the same. Okay, awesome. They weigh the same. But they're not the same fucking thing. You get it? So gravity, I repeat, gravity, we as humanity have no idea what it is. No idea. We have theories, and if you ask me, those theories are about as wishy-washy, about as hopeful as believing in some of these goofy-ass religions that are floating about. That's all I want to get out there. You know, it's ridiculous how much faith we all believe in some of this stuff. The table of certainty should be empty, people. That's all I want to say. So enjoy the rest of the episode of The Social Club here with Sam Tripoli and Bryan Callen. It's on Patreon. Check them out. Be sure to subscribe to me and them. And as always, to God be the glory.
I will find a way to win this. So I hope you enjoy the podcast today. Let's go.
Back shredded rock hard nipples.
Yo.
I'll be just grabbing glass and cutting them with my nipples.
Oh yeah.
Start what's your name?
Start rolling. Yeah, you're gonna just. But why do you say when you work out you'll have rock hard nipples? You guys just came in the middle of our conversation.
We're already in deep water.
I'm trying to get Sam to. By the way, welcome to Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters. Online store with merch launching. I think it might have already launched. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, it is. It's already launched. So the store it's online. Go to that store. Let me see how we get
ConspiracySocialClub.com or what is it?
I don't know.
Would you buy? Did you buy the domain?
BryanCallen.com.
Okay, let's try Brian Callen.
And you can get
So I'm getting a new. Look at that, dude! Stunning action shot. Where were you playing?
I know.
Were you at one of those Eyes Wide Shut parties right there?
Probably. Let me see. I'm in Orlando, Florida this coming weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm keep going. And then
That's one of the best websites in the business, dude.
Yeah,
Live
let me just
comedy.
see where my live comedy is. I can make a. I gotta make. Oh, I'm in Port Charlotte, Florida. I thought it was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm not. January
did you
7th and 9th.
buy
I'm
your
in
flights
Port
already?
Charlotte, Florida. I don't know where that is, but it's supposed to be a theater. And then Phoenix, Arizona, stand up live, December 31st, 2nd, 3rd.
Really tapping that Florida thing because they're fully open.
I know.
They're fully open.
That's what the fuck I'm doing. Forget all that. What was I going to say?
Store. You said the store's here?
Oh, yeah.
Possibly?
I have the store. Hold on. Maybe it's let me see where it is. I'm going to check this
Brian,
out.
you are so much action shots. It's unbelievable.
I'm just all out.
You're the only guy who has to stretch before he does stand up.
He does, too. I seen
So
it.
for whatever reason, it's at shop.upstatemerch.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty gay.
That doesn't work.
Nothing against gay people. I have a lot of gay friends.
Doesn't work though.
Shot.upstatemerch.com.
Okay, hey, Brian,
Yeah.
what you do is you go to your guy
Yeah.
and you just get a forward. Okay, we'll talk about this off. But dude,
Sorry, guys.
You're not. Yeah, it's okay, man. The point is, the merch is ready to rock. It's ready to rock. Go back. I want to see those families. Those are all the families that are gonna go see Brian when he's at
These guys.
Port Charlotte, Florida. Look at that. Look at that. Those are the Callen fans.
Well, that's terrible.
Port Charlotte.
So we're gonna cut all this out.
No, dude.
leave it
This
in,
show
Brian.
is about us being as
Yeah.
real. And guess
I
what?
know.
We make mistakes.
We make mistakes.
Well, the merch is coming out soon. We'll
Merch
give them
is
links.
coming, guys.
Yeah, we'll do-
Merch is coming.
Wear
We're gonna
your
have
shirt.
Deep Waters shirts, which I'm really excited about. Mandragon shirts. Oh yeah, Mandragon shirts made by my boy.
I
Brian
saw them. They're
Johnson.
awesome.
Yeah,
What's
they're dope.
Mandragon
And
about?
sweatshirts because I'm a Mandragon. I did that to D'Elia once, and it was just
I'm supposed to have coffee with him next week.
Chris.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in person. I miss him.
Let's all just.
I talk to him all the time. We FaceTime a lot, but I don't.
Oh man, I miss those videos.
So much fun. So I wanted to just get an important Saturday edition podcast. We're going to try to do this again twice a week, and we're going to do something called Smack, maybe once a month, where we have a moderator and we actually take on
Hey, dude,
a conspiracy.
I mean, if you want to get like L's like 2-3 times a week, I'm down for it all the time.
Well, here's the problem. I want to use today to first break down your belief structure and just gun it down because you sent me that fucking thing on the black nobility and
First
the
of
black
all,
cube.
that's my friend Amy says, "What the fuck?" She's a wonderful researcher.
Well, she's not. I couldn't
She
follow a
is.
fucking thing that Amy,
could.
your wonderful researcher, was saying.
She's a wonderful
it was
person.
so out
we
of
call
control.
her the smoke shows of conspiracies. There's a lot
hot?
of conspiracy
She
smoke show. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of conspiracy smoke
Can
shows.
we get a
out
picture
there.
of her? Can I see?
I guess if you go to Twitter, you put in Amy says, "What the fuck?" Well,
Hey,
we're not
Amy,
judging
we gotta
women
we gotta
on their looks,
We got to
please.
get Amy on here because I couldn't follow a fucking thing. She was drawing parallels between the Kennedy
There it
assassination.
is. Click that.
The Kennedy assassination to the black nobility, who apparently the guy running the show is somebody like who's a Spanish prince of some kind. So there's a guy but more importantly, she's giving credit to the Jesuits because they practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
Well, thank you. So she wins again.
No, she doesn't win again. You can't just say that there's magic going on.
There is magic. That's her. That's Amy.
Okay.
The conspiracy smoke
There's
show.
also a lot of politics involved in her thing where Biden and the Democrats are evil pedophiles. And
You are so
and
cute.
Republicans
I
are-
mean, like, can I ask something? How long has this show been going? Do you
Wait,
know?
hold on.
That's a damn good question.
Stop, please. I'm asking a question.
That is a good question. I can check
How
it
long
out.
has it been going? Has it been going like 3 months, 4 months?
I wish I knew. Do you even have any idea? I have
Probably
no
4
idea.
months now.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I wanna before we go any further with conspiracies,
Yes.
I need to know
Yes. Yes.
how seriously you take the idea that a group called the Jesuits, the black nobility,
Yeah.
who practice quote unquote the dark arts.
Yes.
How seriously do you take that as a theory which would suggest that they are actually and truly running not only the American economy and its military,
Yes.
with all its varying interests and all
Yes.
its competing interests and all the people that
Yes.
disagree, but the world.
Yes.
And by the way, it's being run by these blue bloods who are Spanish royalty.
Yes.
And there's one man actually controlling the Vatican. One man,
Who is that?
Prince Albert, or
The
something.
Gray Pope.
The Gray Pope. But there's
She doesn't even get in the Gray Pope, but she told me there's a level higher than the black nobility. I just found out.
But there's no way to follow this
Are you
stuff,
ready?
Sam.
The Great White Brotherhood.
So now so first of all, before we start anything, I want
And
to
by the
break
way,
this down.
by the way, many of these organizations, they all exist, and they're all basic. It's like gangs in LA. How many gangs are in LA? Right?
Yeah.
There's like what, 60?
Sure.
And they all have their little turf. And they all have their little action.
Right.
Sometimes they work together. Sometimes they bang, dog.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how it is.
Okay, so I want to start with this, since you and your friend Amy and very small group of people who are
Not a
conspiracy
very
theorists,
small group of people.
who is ultimately, I need
How many?
to know,
450, Brian.
lot of
Active
gangs.
gangs.
God dang, but you see, I knew that, and I got you to fall for the 60. That was called a trap, bro.
you got me with the trap.
You're a trap queen.
Sam,
I don't even
wanna
know what
start,
that means.
I want to start with your belief structure. I need to know,
Yes,
as,
Brian.
as far as all the information you've gathered,
Yes.
I want to know from Sam Tripoli who is ultimately in control. Is there one man or is it a group?
Well, I don't think there's one group. I think there's a group of people, different groups, and they work together. I mean, there's some people that think it's Pindar, but we don't know. I mean, we
I
don't
want
know.
to know from you.
Do you know who Pindar is, bro?
Sure don't.
Pindar is an 8-foot albino lizard person that lives in the middle of Earth.
Okay, well, I don't know how to argue with you when you're going to talk magic like that.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is J.R.R. Tolkien.
No,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
What are you? What are you, European?
Can you please?
Hold on, dude. When you said that, a dick fell out of your mouth.
I know, but if we're going to do this,
Pindar, yeah, dude.
yeah, that's great.
Albino. You know, a lot of people are talking about how like Greenland and Switzerland are like are part of the real, like that's where a lot of the power is at, and that like there's a reason why you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. There's a treaty there.
Okay, so
Why do all these countries that don't get along suddenly have an agreement on this one area?
I don't know, but before we get
should
into
look-
that, I'm gonna
should look up
from what I
Tartaria.
got from the video you sent me of your amazing researcher. The ultimate goal of all these groups
Yes.
that are essentially evil,
Yeah.
and are organized and
Yes.
talk to each other, but sometimes don't, is to create a fiefdom, to create where they have ultimate power over all the land,
Yes.
and everyone else is essentially their slave.
Yes.
Okay, great. They're failing miserably, by the way.
Oh,
in a
they
lot of
are,
ways.
Brian?
Yes, in a lot of
Really,
ways.
Brian? Because what we've just witnessed is the greatest exchange of wealth in mankind. We've seen billions. We are bordering on trillions
Yeah.
of money taken from middle class and poor and given to a small group of billionaires. We are now hearing stuff about camps. We're now hearing stuff about if you don't get this, you can't go to concerts, travel, work. So I don't know where you get that this isn't working, because we're seeing the great reset being done right now.
Okay, so it is your belief that these groups are not only achieving their goals, but
Slowly, yeah.
but everything is essentially by design. Everything that's been happening. So from technology's inexorable rise,
Can I just stop
Yeah.
real quick? And Chin's leaving. Thank God, because I don't want him to hear me talk like this. But listen, you're retarded, okay? Okay. First of all, you completely went past my favorite part of the show. It's where we tally up the scores from last week, so I can put another win on my thing.
no, forget that. We'll get to that. I just want, before I need to know
use
what
some
I'm fighting
coarse language,
against.
Chin.
I need to know what I'm fighting against. I like that he goes, I'm glad Chin's left. Now, I just want, because I don't want to talk this way in front of him. You're a retard. Like the word retard's going to insult you. Like, it's already a very politically incorrect word, but I like that Chin's drinking a little high-end whiskey. I
Oh,
love that.
shit. Chin, celebrate.
What kind of whiskey is that? Is that a good whiskey?
I'm not sure.
That looks good.
Enjoy it, Chin.
Sam,
Chin, what is that shirt you're wearing, by the way? I like that. Is that some Jeet Kune Do shit? What is that? Oh, Gung Fu, dude. I got basically a brown belt in Gung Fu.
Kung Fu.
You say it. You're
I'm
right.
trying to get a sense of your Kung Fu.
Brian,
I'm trying to get a sense of
what do you mean you're
believe.
trying to get a sense? We've had like 3 months. I've explained to you my position.
But your position,
everything you said today, I've said yes.
But do you believe in the god of Anunnaki? Do you believe in actual sorcery? Do you believe in the dark arts? Or, like, is this how they're controlling?
Do I believe in magic?
Yes.
With a K? Yes.
You do.
Yes.
What is define magic?
Magic is basically the use of, I think it's energy. The way you control energy, and there's positive magic. I mean, they call it white magic,
some of that's science,
and some of it called black magic. And there's spells, and there's all this shit. And listen, man, whether you believe it or not, brother, it doesn't matter because the people who are doing it fully believe in it, dude. Fully believe in it and act upon those rules in which they study. So it doesn't matter whether you believe. If you don't want to believe that there's a black arts cult running everything, it doesn't matter.
Why?
Because these people believe it and they act upon it.
So you think that the people in power that we're talking about, that this video, for example, with this royalty, that they are actually, they believe in the dark arts and that they are using the dark arts to gain influence.
Everything's about power. They have more money than they'll ever spend in 1 trillion lifetimes. They don't give a shit about money. It's all about power. And there's something called the loosh. Have you heard of the loosh?
I haven't.
The Loosh, the loosh.
What is the loosh? And I like your accent.
The loosh.
Mais c'est français, hein? Loosh.
Loosh energy. Can you look at loosh energy?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
It sounds like loose.
So loosh energy is that there is this group of people, this group that feeds off our energy, our negative. See, within like the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
And even, Brian, something called you look up the Tibetan Book of the Dead, okay? They talk about this energy. We are batteries. Yeah. And people, and these creatures feed off our energy.
They do.
Very ancient, Brian. Brian, this book is so old. It's a couple years older than you. It's called the fucking Tibetan Book of the Dead. That's how old it is.
I've read it.
Okay?
I've read it.
Right?
I went down that rabbit hole of the Zen.
Oh, is that one of your books
Buddhism.
that you're going to do on your book club
No,
that
it's not.
you're not doing that often?
No, it's not, but I'm going to be doing that. I'm dropping another one.
Sure.
The Madness of
Another
Crowds.
thing I've heard about.
The Madness of
that's
Crowds.
supposedly
I've
gonna
dropped 2
happen.
and I'm dropping another one Monday. But wait, before we get
You
into
put that in the list of things Brian says he's going to do, like get a studio, take me to the
getting
gun
a studio.
store,
I'm
the
doing all
gun
that.
shop,
well, I
reading
still
the
can't,
book club.
I still can't get, like, you're not giving me.
Brian, I've answered every question you've asked.
Can you please, I'm going to give you 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
To give me, and I want you to be really specific, and give the listeners a top-down structure for who and what is controlling everything and why. Can you do that? Can you give us the Cliff Notes?
So I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. And this realm there's basically 365 different dimensions. And this realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell. It is basically, some think it's a prison realm. Others think it's a place. It's a very special place. And there's high frequency beings and low frequency beings.
Can we stop for 2 seconds?
You said you'd give me 10 minutes,
I want to ask you where you got that information from. Like what gave you that? Where did you?
Agnostic Bibles, Tibetan Book of the Dead. These are all stories. They talk about this realm, these archons. These are very ancient knowledge. The what you believe is new school woo. Okay, you believe new school bullshit, and this has been a long game done, a long con that's been done. When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes, because it goes back to who we are, where we live. They fuck with our words. They fuck with our symbols. They flip everything upside down because they don't want us to know how special we are.
So keep going.
You keep interrupting.
No, I want to know where you got. I got that you said that we're living in the highest form of hell and the lowest form of heaven.
Yeah, yes, the lowest,
and we're in a realm.
The lowest realm.
We're in one of these 365 realms.
Yes, ran by Abraxas.
Ran by Brexis.
Abraxas.
We're ran by Abraxas.
Abraxas.
So who is Abraxas?
He is the chicken snake deity. According to the agnostics, that's who runs everything. See, back in the day, people would what they call astral plane. They would leave their body. This is a very ancient thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had out-of-body experiences?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who used to master
So
that
the
shit.
ultimate person in control is the chicken snake guy.
Yeah, it's Brad.
You see how crazy this sounds, right?
No, it does not sound. Brian, what do you believe in?
Well,
Brian,
I believe
what do you
I
believe?
believe it. To start with, I believe in things I can see and measure.
Okay, and that's where they got you, brother. They created the laws of physics to box you in to a certain way of thinking because the real magic is outside there, and they don't want you looking at
Why
that.
do you believe in the real magic outside there?
Because ancient knowledge over time have talked about this shit.
do you believe-
Tesla?
do you believe in the
Tesla?
Bible?
Do you not believe Tesla, bro? Bro,
Yeah, but
are you not done with Tesla?
Tesla was a scientist who proved the electromagnetic coil and things. He proved that.
He proved a lot of shit. Time
definitively.
travel?
Well, no. not
Okay, yeah.
not time
See,
travel.
Brian?
Time travel is a theory, right?
Okay, Brian.
And in fact, time travel. So time. You start with time.
Have you ever
is
heard
that
of Project Looking Glass?
Time is a relationship between two mathematical equations, according to theoretical mathematicians like Spiros Mihalakis and guys like that. Okay? Yeah. And when you hear when you hear these guys talk, it is pretty crazy.
Dude, Chin and I are a little worried about you. We were talking about it before.
But you're
the show.
talking about chicken snake guys.
Yeah.
Can you bring it
Can
down?
you put an abrexis?
Brexis?
Abrexis.
Brexis.
I know, but we're going from luge
Three-
to abrexis. Keep going with. So I'm
You know
sorry.
what's so funny is like everyone says I'm all over the place. I've made perfect sense.
Well, not really, but so you're talking about the chicken snake guy. and
No,
you're talking
you
the
asked
realm.
about him. I wasn't talking.
You're telling me about the whole system and the whole situation. So keep going.
So what do you want to know?
I want to know then that this chicken snake god has created a realm that we are all living in.
Yes.
Okay. And physics doesn't
I don't
matter.
know if he started, but supposedly through ancient knowledge, it's one word, and there's a T somewhere in there. Abrexis.
So ancient knowledge, this ancient knowledge,
Yeah.
where do you put the Bible and the Old Testament?
Abraxas.
There we go, dude. The chicken snake
doesn't know how
god.
to spell.
There we go. The chicken snake god.
Yeah, okay, you have a website about these.
Yeah, we have a fucking website,
these
Brian,
weird-
which is better than your T-shirt website. Okay, so suck it.
Oh, let me see where that is. Let me see if I got an answer back about that.
Hey, real quick, while Brian's learning to type on his phone, can we look at last week's scores? Did you look them up?
I did.
Oh, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. This is like dessert.
Well, but this is.
Oh, there it is, dude.
It is this the one?
Yeah,
Right here?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to see the scores real quick?
Yeah, I love it. Let's just take a little break from Brian slowly losing.
Well, no, because he believes in the chicken snake god. I can't fight against the chicken snake god. If Sam says the chicken snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy, and I can't actually mount a defense with any kind of evidence.
Brian,
Yeah.
there's literally as much proof of the chicken snake god as there is of gravity.
That's not true.
No, not true.
Sam?
Brian,
Sam?
Brian. Yeah, because this weighs more than that weighs more than air.
No, that's Sam.
They've never been able to reproduce gravity. They cannot reproduce
We have
gravity.
zero gravity machines, Sam.
Brian, they can't reproduce
Wait,
gravity.
we can take gravity out of the equation. We know that. Do you know that?
No, I don't know that.
So that's a zero gravity machine.
Yeah.
Gravity is as much a theory, literally, as saying that you're standing in front of me. Gravity. So the reason, let me give you an example. So we know this about a sphere.
How come a helium balloon goes up, Brian?
Hold on. We know that a sphere,
Yeah.
that the gravity pulls
Yeah.
toward the center of that
Yes.
sphere. You know
Yeah.
why? That's why when you have this in Australia versus in the United
Can you
States-
look up, is gravity a theory or a law?
Wait, it's essentially a theory, but it's as much a theory
Then
as
it means
anything.
it can't be, it hasn't been proven.
But we've literally proven it.
Brian,
in so
by
many
the way,
ways.
I might have just gave you a little way to win this time.
Yeah.
Because I just threw something out.
I know that you're not
But
sure
this,
about.
but this might be your only chance to win this
Gravity
one.
is really not an argument. Newton came up with the mathematical theory, and by the way, every experiment we can. So the reason that this doesn't slide. The reason that this goes straight down, whether it's in Australia or whether it's here, is because the globe, which is round, it is pulled
In
to
your
the
realm,
center.
it's round.
It is pulled
In
to the
your
center.
realm, it's
But we
round.
we have ways to measurably prove this, Sam. Let me give you another example with the round.
They can't reproduce gravity.
Yes, they can.
No, they
Sam.
can't,
Sam,
Brian. They've tried it.
Go to a zero gravity machine. Just go. We know
On YouTube?
Yes. And this is what they have. You people, including actors, have been in zero gravity machines. See this? This is a zero gravity machine. It's real.
Oh, is this at NASA?
So I made my own.
Actors have been in it.
Have you been in a zero
A
gravity
lot
machine?
of actors have, Sam.
Have you been in a zero? It looks like
No, but
she's in
there
a
are people
fucking
that
pool.
have. Watch. This is not made up, Sam. We know that you can create zero gravity chambers. We know this. Watch. It's incredible. We know this. You're arguing that this is the wrong thing to argue about. Gravity.
Hold on.
is-
I am literally 16 episodes into this thing, and you might slowly have a tiny argument.
Yes. Winning.
No. No.
Now hold on.
No.
We know I'm winning on this one.
No, you're not.
Have you actually never seen
won
this?
on gravity,
This is why.
baby.
Watch this. Watch
and
this.
I have to be honest
Let
with
him-
you.
let him
I don't
watch
know
this.
why I threw that out because that's not my expertise.
Okay, but
but
watch.
I still don't. They can't reproduce gravity.
Please watch this. So this is a classic example. Now what they're going to do, Sam,
was supposed
is they're going to reproduce gravity in this
working
gravity
hard,
chamber.
too.
They're going to reproduce gravity in this gravity chamber
Okay,
because
I'm
right now
working hard
they're in
right
zero
now.
gravity, and then they're going to reproduce it. Okay?
All right, I'm working
And there are
hard.
ways to do this with physics
Can you prove
and machines.
gravity?
All right, Bubba, they are. Watch, I'll show you. Watch on YouTube.
I'm not.
You
I'm
know
not
YouTube
watching,
where you get your
now
information.
We're watching YouTube.
Yeah, where you get your info.
So now YouTube.
Bubba, look,
working.
they're floating, Sam. They are floating. This is not trick photography. This is not. This is a zero gravity chamber, and one of the reasons. when
Okay,
you're-
read this. Okay, Forbes magazine. Why is the definitive proof there is gravity? There isn't one.
It's a theory.
This is not how
We
science
know-
works.
We know.
Gravity is a name we give to a phenomenon that objects accelerate towards. Guess what? Dude, you were just about to do the victory lap, and you forgot I had one more pitch, and I just went.
Sam, your
And I
phone,
just
your
went-
phone's not real, and you
My
went
phone's
on
not
Google. You went on Google, you fucking shill. He went on Google.
Brian.
Look at this, you fucking shill.
Okay, real quick.
Dude, he just went on.
Brian
fucking
had a
Google.
win, and then he lost.
I just got 2 wins. He went on Google to prove a point, and I showed him on YouTube.
Look this up.
His central source of
Look at this.
information.
Look.
See his black cube shit and Amy. And by the way, he
The
just went on
first direct
YouTube, and I
evidence
just
of
proved.
gravitational
And what they
wave.
do is when you're in a zero gravity chamber, ready? They turn it off, and you go back to gravity. One of the problems in when you do space, when you're in space and working for a long time in a space shuttle, is that you lose bone density because there's no gravity. So that's why they have to use
All right.
bands.
Can we go real quick, Brian? I can't give you a win on that quite yet. Will you look up? Can we just? We need to get the scores out of the way.
Yeah, but I won this. Hey guys,
You
mark
won-
me for
hold on,
2.
You haven't won the war. You won it maybe a
Yeah,
tiny
but the
battle.
battle's
I'll bring
good.
somebody in here who will argue with you on why gravity's never been
Here's
proven.
another one. I want to know how many of you guys vote. Does a chicken snake god exist or does it not? And does it run everything or does it not? Thank you. Now,
Stop, Brian.
You're bringing
Let
in
Chin
the
talk.
Vatican. You're bringing
Let Chin talk.
No, dude, because I'm winning.
You're losing, Brian. Let Chin give us last week's thing. Why do we ask the voters to vote if, unlike Joe Biden's win, we're not going to recognize their votes? Okay, so go. Let's see the win because I know you know what's coming. Here we go.
This is a tough one for Brian.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh my God!
So many
Is
S's.
is that the greatest win yet?
That's so far 41-6 is a pretty
I
hefty
fucked up a little bit on that last
Okay.
one. I fucked up on that last one because I opened myself up to shit I don't know enough about, and none of us do yet. And I understand why people are distrustful.
Can we
of our
read
voting
some of the
system.
comments? This is my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, let's watch this.
I just drive all the way over here just for this part.
Well, I just picked some of the.
Please
Okay.
make some merch for this podcast.
We're
too.
making
Yes.
merch.
We have.
it. We got a deep water shirt. It's awesome.
It's absolutely fucking perfect. That should be our new.
You read them,
shirt.
Sam. Watch.
That's from Jeremy Stanton, by the way.
Jeremy Stanton.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you,
is from
Jeremy. Thank
Ryan
you.
Whittington.
Go back for a second. Let me see what Jeremy said. He goes, historians can suck my dick is absolutely fucking perfect. Sam is winning just as hard as has a hard time debating. There are clear points Brian is making that can easily be debated and shut down. Sam, 15-1.
Damn.
Love you, Brian, but there's no such thing as an independent fact checker. I'm a liberal who has been pushed out of my views by social justice warriors and active journalists, and I assure you, all the fact checkers lean left. I believe that, including Snopes. Sam won because you relied too heavily on his argument. on this argument. Also, I'm not much of a believer of all Sam's conspiracy theories. Well, Sam doesn't believe any accidents happen. But I enjoy the banter, and I think as a whole, the flat earth movement is making the conspiracy community look silly. They are. I've seen too many YouTube videos of flat earthers use bad science, of course, to attempt to prove their point. I'm an aerospace engineer that programs avionics to work with satellites, and if the earth were flat, I would have an easier job.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
him.
Hey, remember that
That's-
name? We
what's
should
his
get him to
name?
debate flat earthers.
Ryan
Whittington.
Whittington. I can debate a flat earther. I can give him 10 reasons. I can ask him 10 questions. They'd be like,
All right, dude.
I would love to see you guys talk about Dave Smith.
Well, the top one, Aunt Colleen first.
Talk
Yeah,
with
go to your aunt.
He could easily convince Brian that large conspiracies are not only possible but also common. He's also very knowledgeable about foreign relations as well, which would be
Dave,
useful when
listen,
talking
dude,
about more.
we are living in a golden era of political comedy. The political comedy that died off with Jon Stewart leaving, and since I'd say the last 12 years, political comedy has died off. We are seeing a resurgence right now with Dave Smith, Tim Dillon, Ryan Long doesn't get talked about at all, and he is the fucking best at it.
Who is Ryan Long?
He's this guy. He's a Canadian that lives in New York.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to watch some of his videos. They are so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Can you look up Ryan Long YouTube?
Well, I want to just read a couple
Yeah,
more.
read a couple more, 'cause
Let's
you
read
need
a
a
couple more.
couple.
These are funny. So here's they did stop and reset the machines. I'm from Michigan, and at 4:30 a.m. or so, after hours of no updates on vote total, suddenly updating, giving Biden 138,000 votes and Trump 0. I don't know if that's true. Awfully convenient. I seen this happen real time and have screenshots. I haven't
in the
voted up until
screenshots.
that was from Steve Lafayette. Now, Laird Regnas, I haven't voted up until now because every time Brian claimed that he won anything was like a young child at a family gathering, proclaiming that he's the man of the house. It's laughable at best. Barely worth acknowledging. Fuck. That being said, Sam gets my vote on this one. This exchange sealed it for me. Brian, you have to present evidence when you say that. Where is the evidence? Sam, Brian, listen to me. They're not going to present any evidence if it's going to trial. Why would you do that? Why would you show your evidence now so they can fucking counter? This is literally going to trial. Brian, I don't think it is. Brian, Sam win, Brian L. Wait, what was that guy's name again? Shout out to fucking Laird
Regnas.
Regnas. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dan S. Callen wins this round. Yes! All we heard from Sam was great gay president talk. I agree. And claims that Obama is a Bush. Love the pod. Let's see some evidence,
Okay,
Sam.
I'll give it to you, Dan.
Chin, another one tomorrow.
That's from Brian Young's burner account.
I'm killing this. So
Yes.
yeah, by the way, so the problem with this debate is that you have to answer why they quote unquote would rig this election. You're right, Revival Fitness. Fact, the entire country was boarded up in expectations of riots of Trump. Debatable opinion. They knew Trump was going to win and expected Democrats or the left or Antifa or whatever the fuck to riot. That is true too. Now, hold on. The conspiracy. On election day, they noticed Trump was going to win, so they changed up some numbers. When looking at the perspective that the higher-ups wanted to avoid mass rioting and chaos, it sounds plausible that they rigged the election. Oh, Brian's all that's lost. Fuck, man.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
thought I was going to get a win.
That was my favorite.
Timothy Keegan, please talk more about the NWO and Huntsville, Alabama. I live in Huntsville, and I've always wondered why we never mention the Nazi connection to the German rocket scientists that lived there. We do mention it, actually. So when a lot of the scientists came over from Germany after the war, we used them for our science program because they were a lot of the physics. Remember, a lot like Einstein.
Brian, have you
a
heard
lot of
my
the
joke?
A lot of the physicists came from Germany in the 30s and left when Jewish physicists started getting assassinated. So we know that's one of the reasons Einstein migrated, I believe, to the UK and
Guy's
finally
so
the United
cute.
States.
Brian, have you heard my joke? A pedophile, a Nazi, a Scientologist, and a Satanist walk into a bar?
Yeah, what say this? A Satanist walking the bar?
Okay, so a Nazi, a pedophile, a Scientologist, and a Satanist walk into a bar. What do?
I don't know.
Invent NASA. That's
So
who's
you think,
behind
you think
NASA.
NASA's all evil?
I personally believe NASA is a giant money grab,
But it's a government-funded organization.
and it's a giant money grab
A money grab for who?
for these companies that make all this stuff for NASA.
Well, sure. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of it's private enterprise that they
Brian,
use.
my opinion is nuclear war, viruses, space, global warming are all things that the average person has never seen with their own eyes, but somehow we spend billions of dollars on.
What about, let's talk about climate change. The ice cap is shrinking, or is that all a bunch of bullshit? Because we have satellite imagery.
Yeah, and then some places the ice is growing, some places it's going down.
Right. So is global warming?
Are you asking if global warming is okay? There is pollution.
Yeah.
There is deforestation.
Yes.
It could be in places overpopulation.
Yeah.
Is mankind warming up the planet? No.
That's a question. That's the debate, right? It's not. I think mankind.
Did we stop reading these? Because I think you did a really great job.
I want to keep reading them.
Okay.
But I think mankind is warming the planet. The question is, does government regulation and passing laws so cool the planet?
Okay.
That's a bigger question.
Okay, so going back to that video that my good friend Amy says, WTF, one of the smoke shows of conspiracy.
Stay on
all right?
our things. Yeah.
She brought up a thing called the Club of Rome, which the Jesuits created. The Club of Rome, which Al Gore is a part of.
Al Gore, the all-powerful Al Gore. Anybody hear from him? Keep going. Sorry.
Al Gore is a giant part of this whole thing. He is one of the puppets, but he's a giant part of this. He is part of the Club of Rome. He's been pushing this climate change science bullshit. Everything in his stupid movie that he said was going to happen, none of it fucking happened, okay? He's part of this Club of Rome. The reason Trump, and listen, I can sit here for days again and tell you how much I don't like Trump. It's going to be nothing that's said on the news. The reason Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord is because it was never about curbing CO2 emissions. It was about taxing it. And it wasn't about you fucking pulling back. It was if you put out more, you'd have to buy more credits.
Yeah, caps, yeah.
Yes.
Caps and credits, yeah.
So this Club of Rome was going to make trillions of dollars.
You guys know how that works? So caps and credits in pollution are, you're allotted a certain sort of blocks of pollution, and if you don't spend those blocks of pollution, you can sell them to somebody who needs more of them. So say a country is you're an industrialized country. You've already done your industrializing and you're a service economy. But another country like China or Vietnam makes products, so they have to produce a lot of waste and runoff. So they need more blocks of pollution. So what you do is you create sort of you can buy and sell blocks of pollution on the open market. So if you have an incentive as a country to not only burn clean, because then you get credits, you get pollution credits that you can sell to other countries. So Vietnam goes, well, I need to pollute more because I got all these demand to produce like shirts and stuff like that. So that's kind of how it's traded on the open market, right?
So
that is caps.
Sounds debatable.
No, but that's how people make money. So you actually have those are traded on the open market. So there are caps, there are pollution blocks, caps,
and this Club of Rome gets giant bucks on it, and it's so rigged and full of shit that they actually doubled the amount of pollution that the China could put out. China wouldn't join it, so they're like, well, what if we double the amount you can put out? They're like, okay, we'll do it, and we'll do it. Now, that being said, I just want to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of military industrial propaganda going on about China. China's not perfect. A country that big is not perfect. They have a lot of things, but there's a lot of revving up the war machine against China going on right now. But that is 100% true. The Paris Climate Accord, to get China to do it, they double the amount of pollution they could put out just to get them in, while hammering the United States.
Right.
That's why Trump pulled out of it.
But that's
like,
right.
It's like pharmaceuticals, man.
Yeah.
They don't want to cure disease. They want you to be a fucking patient for the rest of your life. Why do they want to give you something that cures you and you're only there for 2 weeks?
Okay, but that's a conspiracy theory I can kind of get behind and debate with you, right? So the reason for that is that
is this the universal?
Yeah, but now
you know what this is? Ring the bell. I want. Ring the bell.
Because now you're bringing it back down to earth.
Dude, I'm winning so much chins over this show already. He's not even listening.
If we could stay away,
I'm researching.
I want to stay away on this show. I want to stay away from the black nobility, the Anunnaki. I can't fight chicken
By the way,
gods.
you're always bringing it up.
Okay, but
it's
I can't fight those guys.
If you ask me who runs everything, I'm going to tell you who it is. You bring it up all the time.
But let's just stick to money running everything and greedy people.
Yeah.
Okay? I like that. Now, if you talk about big pharma and you say to me there is an incentive if you say to me, there's an incentive, Brian, for big pharma to work even with the food industry and to say in one way or another, we make more money off. So big pharma, you're right. You say something like, we make more money managing a disease like diabetes, as opposed to saying, hey guys, you can eliminate type 2 diabetes by changing your diet, by not making 25% of your food simple sugars.
Yeah.
But then Nestle comes in and says, we want to be part of the school lunch programs. I'm going to give you a conspiracy. And Nestle says, there's money if I can get my product into the bellies of school children all over the country, all over the world. Now, I happen to make foods that are simple sugars, that if you eat enough of them will cause diabetes, okay? So that's why I want soda. That's why I want candy bars. And then I'm going to hire scientists.
Okay, Brian.
I'm going to hire scientists on the food board nutrition, the nutrition board to say, to have 25% of your food simple sugars is nutritious.
You should break your glasses.
But wait, listen. So do you understand what I'm saying? So what I can get behind that, because money is an incentive for people to behave in a very unethical way.
Oh, yeah?
So it's exactly like when R.J. Reynolds said, let's sell our tobacco products to black people.
Oh.
And kids
Really, Brian?
will get them hooked on cigarettes so they're lifetime customers. That's an immoral thing.
Okay.
We know this happens.
Okay, Brian. So what you're
that's a
telling me
conspiracy theory I can get
is that
behind.
the sugar industry is more evil than the fucking military-industrial
I'm not saying that.
complex
I'm not saying
or
that.
the banking
No,
industry?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying human beings behave.
See, this is the problem, man.
wait,
I got people like who I love, like Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp. These are wonderful liberal researchers. You know, they're wonderful. And they will talk to you all day about how evil the mainstream media is, how evil the military-industrial complex is. But once you try to get them into, let's just say, another money-making thing, which is climate change, they can't come to grips with that same evil that is pushing these things could apply to that. Or school shootings to get rid of guns. Like it happens all over the
Sam,
place.
what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say is I'm saying, and some conspiracy theories I get, like I understand, I go, the drive for that is that people can make money off of behaving unethically. Okay?
Yeah.
And selling a product. So we know that. So I think climate change actually is something a little bit different. I think climate change is a difference in ideology. And there's a good book called Merchants of Doubt about this, who who had him
I'll
on
fight that
podcast.
guy who wrote that.
No, Merchants of Doubt is interesting because what happens is there are people that are like there are people that don't really believe in climate change per se. So what they'll say is a lot of this stuff is the idea that human beings created climate change is always debatable. We don't know. It could be. There's a lot of science that
Brian,
there is. There's science
Brian,
that there is.
plants live off of CO2.
Well, hold on. I'm saying, Sam, we're not scientists, you and I, but there's science on both sides that suggests
I'm a scientist and whooping that ass on the show.
It could be man-made, and it could be a natural phenomenon, or it could be a combination of both. We don't know. So let's just assume we don't know.
Do you think cows farting is causing the problem?
Well, so
there's 7 billion of us, but for some reason a cow farting is the problem.
Well, methane can be a problem. Methane, we know in New Zealand, methane is the leading cause. Sheep farts are one of the leading causes of the pollution. You can measure that.
right,
That's not far-fetched. What I'm saying
it is far-fetched.
The debate starts here.
It's
Sam.
retarded.
But the debate starts here, dude. Are you able to pass draconian laws and restrict people's economic freedom? Will that actually cool the planet? That becomes an ideological question. People have different points of view. Most of us are not conspiracy minded. And most of us are like, for me, I believe in free markets. And I believe
Let me
in free
ask you
markets,
something,
and I
Brian.
believe in freedom. Some people believe, and they make very strong arguments for government oversight and regulation. I don't know I know emotionally I stand more on less government personally, and I stand on smaller government and more freedom. That's where I stand emotionally. I think you're the same way.
I stand on that sexually.
And as well, you should, by the way, and so do I. But there are people that have a different point of view ideologically. And so rather than the conspiracy, it's an argument, it's a war between ideas here, right? It doesn't have to be a conspiracy.
Brian, I think you don't understand what a conspiracy is. A conspiracy simply is two people conspiring Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not ideologically. It's just two people conspiring. So you're sitting there saying Nestle's conspiring to get sugar into these kids, which is causing, but yet you can't come to grips with that fucking, that these powerful people could conspire to lie to you to make money off of climate change technology. Like, it's conspiring. Dude, we literally live. You literally have said on this show.
I don't disagree that people are making money
that
off.
this virus. There's some bullshit going on. There's people conspiring. So there's a video going on right now, right? Going around. You can go to my Instagram. It's in my Instagram stories. It's a guy on the Raiders. I think he's a fullback. Raider Nation for life. Tripoli. Okay. He is talking about. He got a call from the Vegas CDC. If you go to my stories, does it in my stories? Next one.
Wait, those are your kids?
Which one?
Cuties.
All right, so
Yeah, this is it. Can we hear
I
it?
do not have COVID, and I get tested every single day for my work.
He's a Raider.
Yeah.
I just got a call from the Nevada Health Department saying that I tested positive for COVID.
That's it?
Did it stop?
Yeah. Let's go
Fuck,
back.
they're messing with you. The dark.
Go back.
So I just want to be clear. I
Well-
do not have
well,
COVID.
Can you click on that down there to see if it will take you to that thing?
Hold on,
Yeah,
let's see.
see post. There we go.
There we are.
Clear. I do not have COVID, and I get tested every single day for my work. I just got a call from the Nevada Health Department saying that I tested positive for COVID. The Nevada Health Department receives every single COVID test, positive or negative. They receive the results. And obviously, my organization would have been the ones to know if I had received a positive test before this organization, the Nevada Health Department. When I told them that I get tested every single day for my work and that they would have known prior, and I told them that I played for the Raiders, they began to feel all flustered and realized that they got caught in a lie. When they got caught in a lie, they told me to ignore the phone call, to act like they never called, and to pretend that this never happened. To me, this is 1,000 a political stunt, and they're trying to. And just so we're clear,
Why is it
when
cutting
I
out?
called them out.
Oh, no, because he didn't edit.
Saying that it was a lie, they told me to. They said, "Oh, sorry, we made a mistake. You actually didn't test positive. You, all of your tests are negative." So to me, that's telling me. I mean, I already knew, but this is telling me everything right now, that they're calling folks who probably haven't tested positive or haven't even tested at all, and are telling them that they have.
Okay, so stop.
I agree.
So Brian,
I agree with that.
So why are those people making that call? Because they are getting paid. So take it from
100%,
COVID,
100%.
put it into
but that's
space.
Money. You make money. You make money. There's a lot of evidence that when you have COVID cases, you get more money from the federal
Right,
government,
Brian.
right?
But do you understand what I'm saying?
So that's not something I disagree with.
Right,
I
but
happen
when
to think
we're
these
talking
numbers,
about space,
these fucking numbers are
climate
being,
war, dude, there's so much money in this. And these people, you could say what you want about scientists and believe that these are fucking holy rollers who walk on water, dude. These are human beings getting paid a lot of money. And they are looking and finding the results that the people signing the checks want them to do. This person called. This guy got a call from somebody that was telling him something wasn't true, that they knew wasn't true,
right?
because they had a paycheck coming. So that's on a small level right there. A local Las Vegas COVID call.
Sure.
Why wouldn't it be on a bigger scale when it comes to military industrial complex, fucking space, climate change?
Well, I don't disagree with a lot of that. In other words, you can't
Can
say...
we, in the new studio, can we get a bell
We're
right
gonna get a
here?
bell. I have a bell. I have a
Okay.
fucking bell.
We'll put a bell
I have a
every
bell.
time we win,
I have
we
a
get a bell.
$400 cast iron Japanese bell. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do with it.
Why do you have to be Japanese? Because he's Asian?
It's because I bought it in a Japanese store. It's not
He's Korean,
Hey,
dude.
man.
No, we don't have a Korean bell. We don't have a Korean bell.
I'm sorry about that, dude.
That's so funny, dude.
Dude, that's so good.
That's
We
so
have the
funny.
fucking bell. We're gonna ring it. Now you're not ready to ring the bell yet.
Yeah.
What you're saying
I just rang the bell.
Nah, you're just proving my point. Conspiracies are like, you can call them conspiracies. What I do is I follow the money and I go, there's incentive here to behave poorly. There's incentive for a governor to shut down his fucking state because either his health system might get overrun or he doesn't want to
that's
be caught
cute.
with his pants down. And he goes, Let's shut it down. Let's report when you report cases, it doesn't mean people are showing symptoms. When you report cases, it doesn't mean people are dying. When you report cases, it means 40% of all fucking COVID cases are asymptomatic. When you are under 49 years old, you have a 99. This is from the CDC. This is from the Center for Disease Control. If you are under 49 years old and you catch COVID, you have a 99.92% chance of living. And even if you're under 70, you have something like a 95% if you don't have comorbidities and stuff like that. The numbers are not there to justify this massive shutdown, which is causing suicide, which is causing children not to be in school like my kids, which is causing business to go out of. This is an outrage. And I think historians are going to look back on this when they look at all the evidence and go, this was the stupidest fucking experiment of all time.
We're going to look back on this.
I happen to chalk it up. I chalk this up to stupidity.
Oh, that's cute.
To greed.
Cute.
To,
yeah, okay.
to
that's
ambition.
Good. That's
to political ambition.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would say that a lot of people thought this was orchestrated by Democrats. Problem is, this is a worldwide thing, and a lot of parts of the globe are completely shut down.
Might be almost
Sweden never shut down.
Jesuit ran, maybe, possibly.
Nah.
Probably.
No, the Jesuits are not telling.
Remember, we live on a plane, they put
do.
a T, the T is their logo.
How are Jesuits able to tell fucking Azerbaijan or whatever country to shut down?
Because they're everywhere. There's Jesuits in China.
They can't tell, but politicians are going to tell fuck off. You're not going to be in Rome telling Chinese people.
See, you know what's so funny about you?
The Romans are not telling the Chinese
I'm going to call
what
you
to
something
do.
you've never heard in a long time.
What?
Listen, young man, okay? I want to say something. You
like that.
Okay? Listen to me talk.
How are the fucking Jesuits in Rome, the Vatican, or a Spanish duke going to tell Wei Ji, what's the President Xi?
Thousands of years they've been doing
The
this.
Chinese are not going to fucking listen to the Vatican.
Bullshit,
They're going to be like, fuck
dude,
up. The
money
Chinese?
talks, bullshit walk.
The Chinese don't need the Vatican's money, dude.
Dude.
The Chinese Communist Party tell you to go fuck yourself.
Dude.
You're not listening to some Italian. If anybody
Have you heard of the Lee family, dude?
If
Have
anybody
you heard
thinks
of the Lee
the
family?
Lee family is not telling anybody what to do.
Will you look up the Lee family? They are one of the 13 original families.
Dude, the Chinese...
They made deals with the Anunnaki.
The Chinese are not hearing a peep out of the Anunnaki, your snake chicken guy, or the Vatican.
Yeah.
If you think
the Lee
fucking
family,
Chinese
they're one of the most
Communist Party-
powerful families. They run China.
They don't run fucking China.
They run fucking China.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
First of all, the Lee family of the United States...
That might not be the same Lee family. There's many Lees. The Lee family of China.
The Lee family of China.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if Lee's even a Chinese name. Isn't Lee a Korean name?
It could be both. So L.I.
This has not been our best show for
lie.
race.
L.I.
I gotta be honest with you,
Dude, because I'm winning, because I'm crushing
You're not
you.
winning. You've said racist shit about a bell.
No.
You said racist shit about Lee.
No, I haven't.
It's fucking gross.
No, I haven't.
I
dude.
can't believe I'm on this show.
No, dude, please, come on. Come on, you're taking it out of context.
We have to know what the
You didn't know how
spelling
to
is.
spell it, you fucking will. The L-E-E family.
I'm
What
not
a fucking
spelling
racist.
shit.
By the way, these guys go back. Can you get a family that's alive?
Yeah.
This guy goes back to the 1800s.
Dude,
the
they changed their
1700s.
names up so nobody knows.
They're not
Illuminati
running
bloodlines.
China.
Yeah, they are.
The Chinese fucking Communist Party runs China,
You're
bro.
so cute.
There are more billionaires
So
in China than
cute.
anywhere else. You're not telling.
So cute.
You're not
man.
telling the guy who
this
owns
guy
Ali.
is the cutest dude ever.
You're not telling the guy who owns
So
Alibaba
cute.
that
So
you're not
cute.
the Vatican. The guy who runs Alibaba, as an example, is not hearing a fucking peep from the Vatican.
Let me tell you something, dude. If that guy was really running shit, the Chinese government would have taken that company from him. He's playing ball with them.
Of course he is. Of course he is. They
Thank
all
you.
play a ball, but.
Hey,
but
did we
they're not
read the
hearing-
rest of the comments? Because I think that's our highest rating. We have to see ratings go up.
Let's go.
when we
Let's
read
go.
that.
Let's go back
Go
to
back?
the comments.
Yeah, go back.
All right.
Here we. Oh, you didn't finish the end of it though.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. Get that ready for next.
Okay.
Now that I totally destroyed you.
There we go.
I live in
Unspoken
Huntsville and
ex-
have always wondered why we never mention the Nazi connection to the German rocket science that lived there. We do. I used to work at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center teaching kids about microgravity, believes in gravity, thank you, with scuba diving. One day I met astronaut Alan Bean, the fourth man to walk on the moon. I tactfully asked about life on the moon, and he got pissed. With a super tight handshake, he angrily said to me, "What? That's a bunch of bunk. We told them everything. NASA doesn't keep secrets." He then tossed my hand to the side and stormed off. So go into more detail about some of the spooky shit that goes on here. Y'all rock.
Y'all rock.
Okay. Now
Go down the sky. He's finally something nice.
I mean,
for
I
you.
just want to end it on a happy note, so that was the last one.
Happy
It says happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
all.
all.
Thanks,
So
Scott.
But yeah,
Well,
so
dude, it sounds like people are moving in my direction. And now that you've mentioned the Anunnaki and the snake guys, you're gonna lose all your supporters.
I could lose for to the end of the year, Brian. I could literally lose to the end of the year.
You talked about an 8-foot albino that lives in the center of the earth.
I said
can't live
some
in
people think that.
molten. Well, they're fucking crazy. Let's stick to larger conspiracies, which is Big Pharma. And here's Big Pharma. Here's what I think about Big Pharma. Big Pharma saves a lot of lives. A lot of Big Pharma is saving lives. People depend on Big Pharma. However,
That's so
I do
cute.
think that
what is this? What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at random stuff.
Big Pharma is competitive. And again, what drives Big Pharma is money. It's money. You're right. And
they called Dr. Fauci the Hitler of AIDS.
Well, Dr. Fauci was very off on AIDS. He was very wrong on AIDS.
Was he wrong or was he right for profits?
Well, a lot of people.
A lot of people think that most of those people died not from the AIDS virus, but from the cocktails they were given.
Yeah, that's probably true. But Sam, a lot of times people in power are making decisions because they're not competent and they have the hubris, the arrogance to think that they know what's best for the rest of us.
You're
and they're
so
wrong,
cute.
and they're wrong.
You're
but the
so
idea
cute.
that everybody in power has already figured everything out and can predict the future is crazy. They can't.
It's not crazy.
They can't though. They can't plan.
Well, they
this
can't
stuff.
predict the future. I mean, even though they do have Project Looking Glass. Did you look that up?
Wait,
Let's look it up.
what's an accident? Do you believe in any accidents? And give me an example.
Yeah, of course.
Like what?
Of course, I've been in a couple accidents.
What would be an accident?
My insurance is fucked.
No, what about what was the financial crisis an accident of 2007?
No.
Okay. So all the bankers and all the people that have studied this who said that people got greedy and that we were able to sell our mortgage-backed securities to China and overseas because of China's resurgence, or as an economic powerhouse, and we were to sell property, mortgage-backed securities to places, and banks could see their money right away. There's been a lot of books written on that. Michael Lewis's book is great on this.
Michael Lewis's
what about all
book
that stuff?
can kiss my ass.
But
so
those
here's
are
what
great
happened.
theories on it.
No, here's what happened, dude.
What?
Basically, Goldman Sachs crashed the economy to make billions of dollars. So what they basically did, dude, is they created a fund where they had this one guy, and he didn't know they were doing it, that they wanted him to do this, but he created basically this fund of high risk mortgage loans.
Mortgage-backed securities.
Okay? And here's what Goldman Sachs did. They told all their investors to invest in this portfolio.
Correct.
What the investors didn't know is that Goldman Sachs purposely took out an insurance policy on this fucking portfolio, fully knowing it was about to crash.
That's right.
And that's called
not just Goldman Sachs. There were other investment houses,
but they were the biggest one to do it.
Well, but also what we also know is that you can go back to the idea that the U.S. government put pressure on banks to make mortgages more affordable to people that couldn't traditionally afford them. Because for 30, 40, 50 years, they had algorithms that could assess your risk, could assess your ability to pay back a loan, and you either got a loan or you didn't.
Well,
so the government
I have my theories on that.
Came in and said,
YouPorn.
The government came in and said, wait a minute, a lot of minority sections of the world can't afford a house. You guys aren't lending in a fair way. You're not lending in a fair way to people who are black versus white who have the same credit history. And that was all true. So there was a big political movement to get more loans available to people who were of questionable financial status. Now, pretty soon, though, it became really easy to get a mortgage.
start doing the show
But wait,
with one eye open,
it got
just
super
make it more
easy. It
difficult.
got super easy to get a mortgage. You could be a gardener and get a $600,000 mortgage because you know why? The bank wasn't taking risk. They would take the mortgage-backed security, bundle it, and sell it overseas to Germany, to China, or wherever. So it wasn't their problem anymore. That wasn't their risk anymore. When you get enough of that, what happened was Goldman Sachs went, wait a minute. These tranches, these mortgage-backed securities, which is you take a bunch of mortgage-backed securities, put them in a bundle, they're sitting on fucking air. These people can't pay their loans back. You're lending to gardeners. They were predatory lenders. They were like, bro, you don't have a job? I'll get you a loan.
Also,
So what happened was all of a sudden, everybody...
adjustable mortgages.
Yeah.
People didn't understand what that meant.
Right. So all of a sudden, so many people, because they wanted a house, and people are optimistic, all of a sudden they couldn't pay their loan back, and these mortgage-backed securities just went, they crumbled. Now you're sitting on nothing. And that was the start of the financial.
Well, also, Brian, there's also fractional reserve banking. Do you know what that is?
Fractional reserve banking?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
Yes. In other words, you leverage yourself without having the resources.
Well,
to back up your
basically
position.
What happened was Nixon, along with the international banking cabal, the Federal Reserve, also known as the Rothschilds, okay, they created something called the petrodollar. And what they did was they took the US dollar off of gold standards and put it on the petrodollar, which means that our money was backed by petro oil, okay, from Saudi Arabia. And the reason that's interesting is because there was unlimited oil. And by the way, just to let you know, I don't think there's peak oil, meaning that we're not going to run out oil. Oil is a part of this whole idea that oil's from dinosaurs is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. It is a liquid that occurs in the planet regularly. It replenishes itself. Spell that word I just said.
Replenishes.
Replenishes.
Itself.
You got to hold on to that because you need to win something.
Fucking making up words now.
So replenishes itself. Okay.
He's not a geologist, but
okay. So you put our monetary unit on that, and there's unlimited supply of that, which means you could basically create unlimited amount of money. Why is that interesting? Well, now this allows banks. It used to be these banks could lend out $10 for every $1 they had. Do you know now that's changed? They don't need any money. They can just make up loans. Why is this interesting? Why is this important? It's very important, the fact that if I go to a bank, right, and they sign me to a loan, and just hear me out because I know you think I'm going to lose, I'm all over the place. This is why you never buy a car from the place you're getting a loan from for the car, okay? You never want to go to a place like, we give out loans for our cars. You never want to do that, man. You never want to do that. And this is why. So these banks, they will lend out these mortgage loans to people they know probably can't pay it. Why would they do that? Because what's going to happen is they lend out fake money on a real asset, whether it's being built or whether it's being bought. And what happens is these people, they don't understand this loan. So they sign the loan thinking it's all going to work out. All of a sudden, their mortgage goes from, let's say, $1,000 to $7,000. And they're like, what the fuck?
It's a floating interest rate.
Okay?
Floating interest rate.
So now this bank that just made up funding might literally, when you used to play Monopoly with your little siblings, where you just grab money out of the bank and throw it at them, this is what the bank, but now the bank is getting back a real asset.
Yeah. But by the way, Now, let me ask you, and what they do with that asset is they take the note that they can't be paid and they sell it to somebody for $75 cents on the dollar. But is that a conspiracy or that's just greed? That's just unethical greed. That's just creative accounting.
Yeah, but
right?
Bro.
Right though? I mean, it's not, but there you can see people would go, hey, I see a loophole, let's do this. That's not a conspiracy.
Well,
that's
you don't know where it starts from, dude. You don't know if that was done to fucking, hey man, we can get all this property.
Yeah, but
real
hold
simple.
On, but hold on. Banks don't want property. Banks don't keep the property. What banks do is they foreclose.
It's an asset,
Well,
Brian.
no, what they do is they sell the note. They sell the note and they take a loss on it, actually.
Dude,
banks
then why did banks buy up all the property in Vegas? They literally there's just
because they had to, because the government came in and bailed them out. So what happens is that in that situation, banks don't want your property because when you default on a loan, they're sitting with the loan. Instead of it being worth $1 million, they have to sell it for 75 cents on the dollar. That's the problem. So this is not conspiracy. This is just people who are creative
we
and
just
unethical.
Literally talked about how Goldman Sachs did this purposefully.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy.
Bam! Where's the bell?
Wait, no, that's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy that we know about, though. That's not like.
Oh,
that's
Brian,
that's just unethical
Brian,
behavior.
Just stop right there, and I could hear the.
But that's unethical behavior.
Fuck! I just said that.
No, I'm saying that's unethical behavior that we know about. That they got brought up in front of Congress.
Hates when dad and mom fight.
They got brought up in front of Congress and questioned. Lloyd Blankfein was asked about that.
And what happened, Brian?
He goes, well, that's the way you do business.
Why is Bernie Madoff in fucking jail?
He ran a
because
Ponzi
he
scheme.
ripped off rich people.
He ran a Ponzi
That's the only
scheme.
reason he's in jail, because he ripped off rich people.
Well, that's a separate subject.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
proving my point.
No,
it's not
I'm not
about
proving
conspiracy.
any point,
it's just
but
about
that I'm-
money. It's just about money. It's about campaign finance.
Brian,
reform.
why can't a conspiracy be about money? You don't understand. A conspiracy is two people conspiring. It's not like always have to be lizard people eating babies. That happens.
No, it doesn't.
But yes,
no,
it
does. Now we have to
Yes,
stop.
it does.
No.
Look at you trying
There's
to
no
get
such
back.
thing as
I
lizard
can
people.
maybe win it.
There's no
with a
lizard
Hail Mary
people.
pass.
No
1
lizard
second
people.
left. 99 yards to go. I got a chance. We got 5 minutes left in this
but
thing.
you say it's conspiracies, and I'm saying it's not conspiracies. I can explain why.
Brian, just because you
people,
explain it
companies
doesn't mean it's
behave
not a
unethically.
conspiracy. Dude, a conspiracy is two people conspiring. There's degrees of conspiracy.
I know, but-
there's ones who are obvious for knuckleheads like you, and then there's deep thinkers who are spiritual like me, who go deep and know that there's a chicken snake.
No,
guy.
that's crazy. Now stop with this naked chicken thing. Ding ding. Every time I say I win, you're losing. Ding ding.
Brian. I am 15-1.
No. I won this one today. But here's the thing.
Okay, dude, I can't wait.
Here's the
I
thing.
can't wait.
You
I
lost
can't
on
wait.
gravity. You lost on gravity. You lost on.
I lost the battle. I won the war.
Well, the main thing that you and I have to come to terms with is that the biggest danger facing our democracy is that nobody can agree on where to find truthful information. Where do you think I can find?
Well, that's the Smith.
Because you say I'm not even allowed to read the New York Times, the Economist. Like everybody's been bought, and
Yeah,
all of it's
Brian,
bullshit.
but it's true,
So any
though.
journalist, any journalistic source, whether it's the Economist, whether it's the New York Times, whether it's who I don't like, whether it's the LA Times, who I don't like, whether it's Google. I mean, where am I supposed to get my information? I
Well,
can't
you know,
get it
the
from,
truth of the matter is you're supposed to find some sources that there's so many great fucking researchers out there.
How do I know about those researchers? How do I know about these people? I don't know them. How are they?
That's why you gotta study
who's
what they
vetting them?
do.
But who's vetting
You gotta
them?
study what they do, Brian.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think you have a feeling, which is I believe in conspiracies, and then you look everywhere you can.
Okay, Brian, here's what I do,
Find
really what I do,
evidence.
Brian. You want to know what I do, Brian?
Yeah.
Here's what I do,
Yeah.
okay? I study history
Sorry, I had
to the
to-
best of my ability, all right?
Yeah.
I don't just study the official narrative. I study what those who have said what is the alternative narrative of what they believed happened, okay?
Yeah.
Then so I take that history, right? And then I take who gets the money and who gets the power.
Mm-hmm.
And if that stuff lines up, I go, we might be on to something. Again, nobody knows nothing for 100% until there's a court case or something like that where all the evidence is put out and somebody's convicted. In terms of, let's say, Hillary and a satanic pedophile, there is so much evidence that that's real. I mean, just look at Haiti and what happened in Haiti. We could look at that whole thing. So that's how I do it, Brian. I study fucking history. Not the history they tell us in textbooks, but fucking both mainstream history and alternative history. I study that to my best of my ability, and I see if the pieces fit.
You follow the money.
I follow
Winners.
power and money.
Where's the power? Who has power at the end of the day?
Who gets the power?
When the
Who gets
chips
the money?
fall,
Right.
So when the Nazis lose,
Yes. So Brian, when you say fucking 20 fucking fucking desert people flew a plane in, they didn't get any power. They didn't get any money from that. Who got money from that? Dick Cheney, Saudi Arabia,
Okay.
Israel.
could that be an accident?
No, bro.
So what if I said this?
How many
But
times?
wait, Sam. What if I said this? Human beings in general all
got a
have.
minute.
Human beings in general all have.
Chin, I'm
their
so
idea-
sorry. You could have
listen,
been out frolicking with your
yes,
woman.
but listen. Here's my.
making, you know,
Let me give you the world and
origami,
wait,
whatever
let me give you
Asians
the
do
world
on
and
Saturday.
Let me give you the world and an egg. Are you ready to listen to this? Let me give the world and an egg. Human beings have various.
I just smashed that
That
egg.
was so
Humpty Dumpty.
I got yolk all over me, dude.
Humpty,
I got yolk all
Humpty
over me
Dumpty
now.
took a great fall on that one.
You just smashed my fucking
I
egg.
smashed it, right?
What am I supposed to do now? Make an omelet?
Yeah,
Huge
dude.
omelet?
Yeah.
And what do I do
Yeah.
with the omelet?
Yeah.
Feed you and your chicken snake
Feed your
god?
sadness.
You're the chicken snake god, you motherfucker.
I wish I was at Praxis. I would be like, I run everything.
Dude, I just used egg as a metaphor.
Dude, there's a dimension where I'm shredded and you're a fat fuck. How crazy is that? How crazy is that dimension?
Let me give you my world in a nutshell. The world is this. In a nut, in an egg.
America loves democracy.
I got to put it in a nutshell because you can't crack a nut.
Okay. I'm a nut cracker.
No, you're not. Now listen. Human beings have different ideologies for how we should behave in the world, how we should run the world. Some believe in a collectivist idea. We should all be kumbaya and brothers, communists, socialists.
I don't believe in kumbaya's communism.
Some people believe in free markets. Some people believe in democracy. Some people believe running things as a theocracy. Like
I believe in YouPorn.
It should be like run like according to the Quran, according to the Upanishads, whatever it might be. And these are all different kinds of things. And what happens is because people are tribal, evolutionarily tribal, they get together with like-minded friends. And they go, we have the truth.
Okay.
And then they usually don't know how that other side works. And they go, those people are fucking, and we're battling for resources. And when you battle for resources, those motherfuckers are evil because they're trying to take what's ours.
Brian, I think that is delusional.
It's about nationalism, about tribalism, and tribes going to war with each other.
Nope.
And the only
history is about very few powerful elites
listen.
getting us worked up to hate other people that have done nothing to us because the power elites want our blood to spill for their profits.
Well, that's
history.
That's also true. Governments go to war with each other. Peoples don't, right? But you can get people to go to war
by lying to them that these people did. Like 20 people got on a plane.
Sure, get behind
flew them into a building.
Get behind our government. Get behind our truth. We're nationalists. Get behind our flag. You're right. That's very true. That people go to war oftentimes over what they believe is their truth, and they're trying to fight an evil. Okay, and that side has their idea of a truth, and that's the great tragedy of war.
Well, you know that and even there are controlled opposition. Do you know that the Prophet Muhammad, and I have no problems with Islam, the Prophet Muhammad was a royal.
Well, I believe he was actually a shepherd, and then
he was
a general.
Okay. Guys, this has been Conspiracy Social Club. I can only do so much.
He was about to get into Muhammad being a royal and probably an Anunnaki. I can't allow
the royal family made a deal with the low frequency demons, Archons, Anunnaki, creating Nephilim, banging our human ladies, and the only one who saved us was shape-shifting Jesus. Okay, these are the facts.
Those are the facts, folks. You just got it from Sam Tripoli.
So we got
he's now
15 to 1 or 1 in 15. Pick your sources. Pick your sources.
People get behind belief structures, meaning, and maps of meaning.
Guys, check out our shirts. It's at whatever website Brian's got going.
BryanCallen.com. We got deep water shirts, and we got I'm going to make crazy as fuck shirts too.
Yeah.
And we got
can you make fuck historian shirts?
Come see me. I'm going to be in Orlando this coming weekend. Orlando Improv. Then I'm at Phoenix Stand Up Live December 3rd.
My new website's coming.
To January 2nd. Then I got Port Charlotte, Florida, January 7th to the 9th at the Visani Theater. Visani, Visani.
Port Charlotte.
And then Nashville, Tennessee. I'm at Zany's February 11th.
I am going to be this weekend. When does this come out, Chin?
As soon as I can get it done.
Okay.
So maybe tonight.
I am going to be at the St. Louis Heliums. So come hang out with me. Jeffrey, if you're supposedly this is a conspiracy show, so some conspiracy theorists are watching this. Jeffrey Wilson from the Conspiracy Farm is going to be doing some guest spots in the second show. I'm super excited. My buddy Howie Dewey's going to be opening for me, featuring for me. So it's going to be a fun show. Hope to see you guys. I'll have t-shirts. And
when are you coming with me on the road?
Denver? I mean, when do you want to bomb?
You want to Denver?
I would like to go to Denver.
I want to bomb. Dude, how about you and I, two-man show?
I would love to do a show where it's your weekend. You could do your weekend.
That'd be great.
But when we go on the road, we'll do like a Conspiracy Social Club. I really want Eddie to be. I would love the monitor to be in the middle of you two going at it. Fucking go. We'll sell it to Staples Center.
We'll do that.
If we did that.
Okay, we'll do
People
that.
would fly in for the Staples Center.
We used to on Rogan, but it'd get too crazy. Do me a favor. Can you go to BryanCallen.com, see if the store is open? The store is up.
Get past the homoerotica.
Performance,
All right.
Complicated Apes.
Complicated Apes.
I don't see a
Okay,
store.
I don't see it yet, guys. How strange.
Someday there'll be shirts,
coming.
guys.
The store is coming.
Can we please have people vote who won this particular
Guys, you
episode?
have to vote.
Yeah.
I mean,
You have to vote.
Obviously, Sam is talking about chicken gods. I won.
Snake
this.
gods.
I just-
Vote in the comments,
snake
please.
god.
Go, please comment on what you think I won. Did I lose a little battle but win the war? Just let us know what you think.
The problem with conspiracies and being that organized on that grand a scale is nobody in the world, no group, can control the world or that many
This
people.
guy thinks it's so
They
funny
can
'cause he
control
thinks it's like
what
a
goes on
2-week
with
thing.
one company, maybe.
This guy
for
thinks it's
while.
a 2-week thing.
And then they get
He's
exposed.
dude,
Nobody
this is
can
a
do it.
long game. The plan may never even come to fruition during one person's lifetime. They don't plan. They're in no hurry, dude.
Ready for
It's
this? Ready for this? The Vatican doesn't run a thing. Besides the Catholic Church, which is a big organization, they make a lot of money.
Why would you do that?
Now the Vatican.
Why would you go out with
Vatican-
a giant L on
And
that?
this is the next thing we're going to debate. The
I mean,
Vatican.
at the least, they want to diddle kids. At
That's
the
true,
least.
that's true, that's true.
Okay, win.
No.
Give me
No,
that
I'm saying,
bell.
but the Vatican
Give me
itself,
that bell.
the Vatican isn't running the world or anything else. They're running.
Can this
Vatican.
episode be called "Not a Korean Bell"?
Yes.
Not a
actually funny.
Korean bell. Not.
Guys, I gotta go.
All right, we love you.
I love you guys so much.
Sam just left. I had to come back and appeal to the fans. Guys, give me the win this time, for Christ's sake. The guy's talking about fucking chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. That video he had me watch on the black nobility is literally talking, there's no way to follow it. It's literally talking about sorcery and ancient gods and stuff like that. If you want to talk conspiracy theories, there is an argument to be made that people get greedy and come up with ways to game or rig a system. The interesting thing about that, though, is that they are still sort of, you can still find investigative journalists that expose that stuff. Not all journalists, even though a lot of them are very left-wing and they have an ideology.
I'm still winning, and I'm not even talking.
Sam's here.
I'm still winning. Chin. Yes. Just let them know that the sink is a little clogged. I want it to run over because it was running.
See that?
Saving lives.
Sam just said, I want them to know the sink is not clogged. He's one of the best people I know. Truly a pure spirit. But is wrong about this stuff. You can't buy off the media, even though the media is, I believe, ideologically slanted left for the most part, because they come out of universities that have Marxist and radical professors teaching them, because those Marxist radical professors have never lived in the real fucking world, especially in the social sciences. But we know this. Jordan Peterson talks about this. There are a lot of people that talk about this, so we understand that. So what happens is people get ideologically brainwashed. They get into positions of power, whether it be in Google, whether it be in media, and they skew the narrative. We get that. The good news is there are people on social media that push back on that narrative, like people like Ben Shapiro and David Rubin and Steven Crowder and a lot of other people, and Dinesh D'Souza. It doesn't mean that they're all completely right, and it doesn't mean that the left, and it doesn't mean they don't need each other. The beautiful thing about democracy is that we fight these things out, but you have to start with reasoned debate, and you have to start with the idea that there is a truth, and there is, if you start getting into like the Anunnaki and stuff, there's no way to have an argument about that, because now we're talking about magic, and that's just not acceptable. So I think today I won because I took the foundations on which Sam Tripoli stands and I shattered them, everybody. So let's start with that, okay? And by the way, I don't believe the government, whether it's the deep state or any corporation, is that organized. I don't believe that they are all uniformly that evil. I don't believe that anybody is that good at predicting the future and planning things out. I think accidents happen. It's called The Black Swan. There's a book written by Nassim Taleb called like how shit just happens that's random. And it sends everything off spiraling in the wrong direction. Nobody predicted COVID. Nobody predicted the civil war in Lebanon. Nobody predicts these things. They just happen. And they happen through 1,000 confluences of events. It's kind of like, how do you make a decision? Do you actually know when you make, what chemical processes led to you actually making a decision? No, you don't. We don't know why we behave. We don't know what the mechanism is, but maybe it's predestined. Maybe it's just genetic. All right. So that's what I have to say. Don't underestimate the power of accident and random events. Not everything is fucking planned. That's my fundamental disagreement with conspiracy theorists. It's nobody can see the future. Nobody can control all these moving parts. Everybody wants to, but you can't. So, thank you.